Hey everybody, it's Chad McNabb driving in East Tennessee again. Right now I'm in South Knoxville, South Knox County, about 10 miles from downtown Knoxville. About to turn onto Chapman Highway. I'm turning left. I was turning right. You could go to Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, Great Smoky Mountains. About 15 miles to Sevierville. I'm gonna turn left here, go back into Knoxville, downtown. There's right here that I'm going to this underpass. That's John Sevier Highway. Take you back right. We'll go back into East Knox County to the Strawberry Plains community. This area of Knoxville is more, all of Knoxville, of course, is in the Appalachian Ridge and Valley region, which is a region of ridges and valleys that parallel each other. But this part of Knoxville, Knox County, it seems like the ridges are a little steeper. It's more forested, so you're not, a lot of this community, the cities, the houses are you're not going to see in this area. And also, a lot of it, especially once you get to the area closer to downtown, it's the older part of Knoxville too. There are some nice community, some older subdivisions and some newer subdivisions, especially out in this area. You have a little bit more of your newer subdivisions and some new shopping area. Once you get closer to downtown, that's more of your older houses. Now there is some, especially near the Tennessee River in downtown, there are some revitalization going on in that area. A couple of new apartment buildings have been built. Here is the Yale Steakhouse on your right. That's a famous Knoxville restaurant that was on Man vs. Food several years ago. As you can see, looking at the rocks right here, you can see where they had to blast out part of the hill to make the highway through here. This highway is known for, I think a lot of it's kind of a curvy road, but also I think people also don't, I think speeding and plays part of it too, but it's had a lot of car wrecks through the years on this road, so need to pay attention when you're coming out this road, especially when you're pulling out off of some of the side roads. Here's Gold's Gym on the right. And don't speed through here. Of course, I think one of the most famous people from Knoxville that is from South Knoxville, that's the actor Johnny Knoxville. This is the part of Knoxville that he grew up in and is from. South Doyle High School is the high school you can go to if you live in this part of Knoxville. There's the old famous K's ice cream. This part of Knoxville is famous for its marble quarries. A lot of Knoxville marble has been used in some significant buildings, including several in Washington, D.C., New York City. There's also several quarry over here that's so when we get close to downtown, you can go to the quarry think, especially like I was saying before, right around the river, you're going to see a lot of development coming up in the next several years. You've already had several pretty big apartment buildings have been built in the past few years, and they're starting to build a couple more. Then I think directly on the river, I think they're going to do some more projects to enhance the beauty of the Tennessee River, like maybe a river walk on this side of the river, a pedestrian bridge maybe in the future. And we're coming to the main shopping area of South Knoxville. Kroger's over here, Hibbett Sports. This on my right over here is a new apartment complex. This has been built in the past couple of years. Red light, turn right, go back to some nice older neighborhoods of South Knoxville, and go to James White Parkway too, which will take you back across the Tennessee River and back into downtown. Over here on the left is where you would turn, is where one of the famous rock quarries used to be, then the Candoral Marble Works. Is Fort Dickerson Park, the entrance to Fort Dickerson Park, and that's where the Dickerson quarry is. Now we're almost to downtown. We'll see the downtown buildings here in a minute. There's some new apartments on my right coming up. About to come up to the Henley Bridge. On the right side of the Henley Bridge is downtown Knoxville. On the left side is the University of Tennessee. You'll see Neyland Stadium, the football stadium of the University of Tennessee. It sits right here on the river. And it hosts a little over 100,000 people. Coming up here on my right are several new apartment buildings right on the river. There's downtown. Right here there's a building some new apartments behind the old Kearns Bakery building. Used to be the Baptist hospital over here on my right, but it was torn down several years ago. These new apartments were built and put where the Baptist hospital used to be. And then on the other side of the apartments is the Regal Cinemas headquarters, and Regal Cinemas are headquartered in Knoxville. Now I'm coming onto the Henley Bridge to go over the Tennessee River. Coming into downtown. There's downtown on the right. And on my left is the University of Tennessee. I don't know if you can see the football stadium or not, but I'll probably, there's the Sun Sphere, which was built for the 1982 World's Fair in Knoxville. take a ride through downtown Knoxville. Take you over here to Gay Street, which is the main street that runs through downtown. No jokes about that, please. And then Market Square. Market Square is the old square in downtown where you back in the 1800s, early 1900s. That's where all the surrounding farmers and people bought their food and other things to be bought in Knoxville. Now it's been converted into a square and has many restaurants and some shops and bars on it. And it has a stage for concerts that happen during the summer, plays. And then near Christmas they put up an ice skating rink, Market Square. Now we're coming on to get cut up to Gay Street. Of course, there is the Truist Bank building and the First Tennessee, old Andrew Johnson building. Knoxville's had a lot of growth in the past. It's always had good growth for 30, 40 years now, but past few years, it's really had a lot of growth has picked up in Knoxville. I think it's been growing about 6,000 to 7,000 people a year. Oh, the county has, which is the third fastest in Tennessee. Like, a lot of that, of course, is, I think, pandemic related. Got a lot of nice reasonable real estate. Now I'm on Gay Street, the main street in downtown. Of course, there's the old historic Tennessee Theater up on the right. I believe, hopefully you can see the Tennessee Theater sign. Tall building on the left is called the Holston. That's an apartment condo building. It's an old building that was renovated several years ago into apartments. There's the Tennessee Theater on the right. Tennessee Theater was built in the 1920s and was renovated several years ago, about 15 years ago. It went through an extensive millions of dollar renovation. Has concerts, plays, operas, Knoxville Symphony, I think all different kinds of events there. There is a Regal Cinemas up here, movie theater too. Right there, the Regal Riviera. And downtown Knoxville has it's a little raining right now, or sprinkling, but is a very lively, pretty downtown. Especially the Market Square area. And then a little bit further down, if we go down Gay Street and turn right on Summit Hill, we go into the Old City. The Old City is in the older industrial part of next to downtown, but a lot of those old industries have been bought and turned and converted into apartments and lofts. And you have a lot of strip of bars and restaurants in the Old City. It's kind of more of like a nightlife area. Now the Embassy Suites Hotel over here on my left, it's a nice hotel. They have a rooftop bar called the Radius on top of the bar. Swimming pool up there. It's kind of, I don't know, maybe a little hard to see because it's dark, getting close to dark and raining right now. This Gay Street there's several restaurants and bars right here on Gay Street. Outdoor seating. There's Cruz Dairy Farm, their shop downtown. Woodruff's Restaurant, Babalu Restaurant here on the right. Fat Tuesday's Daiquiris, Kilwin's Ice Cream. Now we're getting close to Market Square, where I'm going to turn left here in a minute. Of course, Knoxville is the home of the TBA too, and here's the TBA headquarters in these two white buildings. Tennessee Valley Authority, which is started by the government back in the 1930s to make electricity by damming the rivers in East Tennessee, and also provide flood control. Alright, this is Market Square right here. As you can see, Market Square is kind of hard to see because it's dark, but there's a lot of restaurants and several bars on Market Square, several shops, all with outdoor seating. Still a lot of people out tonight, even though it's raining a little bit. Not heavy, it's just sprinkling right now. Then I'll go back here and I'll turn left and go back on the other side of Market Square. Usually on the weekends you're going to have free parking in all these parking garages. Some restaurant here, this building on the right, restaurant bar. And I'm going to turn left right here and go back out on the other side of Market Square. The Hotel Oliver right here on the left, which is a nice boutique hotel. And then in between you got these little alleys in between the buildings down here, and there's Tupelo Honey Restaurant. Like I said, there's even for this is a very crowded place on Friday and Saturday nights when you got good weather in the summertime especially. Then here on the right is Crutch Park, which has different fountains and some unique artwork. Sounds like there's a concert going on the stage over there in Market Square. We'll go down here, back down Gay Street, and I'll go into the old city and take a little drive around the old city. Said downtown Knoxville's really started to be whatever the word you want to call it, gentrified, or has happened in the past 10-15 years. You've had a lot more people move downtown, a lot more apartments and condos have been built. Of course, you know, back in the day, you know, a lot of your downtowns was where your major shopping. A lot of these buildings used to be department stores. Of course, as the suburbs grew out, then a lot of the shopping went into the suburbs, and then the department stores left the downtown areas of cities. I come to Knoxville, this is the Embassy Suites. I always try to stay at that hotel. It's a really nice hotel. And football season, of course, is only a couple weeks away. College football season, of course, and you know you're in the University of Tennessee here in Knoxville, Big Orange. Of course, Tennessee's not been that good in the past 10-15 years, but if you live in Knoxville or in Tennessee, you're going to see a lot of orange and white. I'm hoping, I'm 48, and I've seen University of Tennessee have the really good teams that won the national championship and SEC championships back in the day. So hopefully they can get back to that level again here in the next couple of years. Like I said, also like that Hyatt Place Hotel over here on the right. I've stayed there too before. It's a nice hotel. And it has a rooftop area that you can go out and have a drink on or whatever. Knoxville has a population of about 190,000. Knox County has a population of 500,000, and the Knoxville metro area just around under 1 million. Like I said, it's really grown in the past few years because, one, it's still relatively cheap in real estate. It's like anywhere, real estate anywhere in the U.S. has gone up, and including Knoxville. So that relatively cheap doesn't mean it's really cheap compared to some other cities. And the city of Knoxville itself is probably slightly Democratic. I believe the mayor of Knoxville is a Democrat, but it's a non-affiliated race, so you don't declare your party affiliation in the Knoxville mayor's race, but I do believe the current mayor is a Democrat. But Knox County is heavily Republican. I believe only 3 counties in Tennessee voted for Joe Biden in the last election, and those, I think it was Davidson, which is Nashville, Shelby, which is Memphis, and Haywood County, which is a rural county closer to Memphis. The other 92 counties voted for President Trump, including Knox County. There's Chivo, Mexican. Now I'm going to turn right here on Summit Hill and go to the old city. There's this churchy building there. That's an old building. That's a apartment building now. There is Central Avenue. Of course, there's some new apartment buildings and the old city that just been built in the past couple of years. And right here is the main strip of bars and restaurants in the old city. There's the Southern Depot restaurant. Of course, you got the train tracks that running up through here in a minute. And there's Hannah's, is a sports bar. Hannah's is a popular nightclub. Then turn right here at this stop, 4-way stop, and out here on the right it's Burley's Tap Room, which is a popular sports bar. There's the Dove and Western Bistro. Then on the left here is the Jig and Reel, Scottish English restaurant. I believe it's maybe Scottish. Uh-oh. Turning on to Jackson Avenue. All these buildings right here are used to be manufacturing buildings that have been converted into apartments. There's the Osteria Stella. It's an unfortunate ambulance. Over here on my right is the modern distilling building, which used to be one of the terminals for the or depots for the train station. Back up here to South Gay Street. Turn right here. Go back over the train tracks. Some more. This car's waiting on the park. There's some more parking on the left over here. There's a big parking lot on the left over here underneath this bridge. There's train tracks here. Right here is the Marble City Lofts and the Marble City Market Food Hall. This is a brand new, well, not brand new, but pretty, it's only been built in the past 5 years, apartment building. Here's the old depot over here on the right, the Southern Depot, which I believe has a winery in the bottom of it. There's Taco restaurant. The Mill and the Mine, which is an event space. Have like for weddings and proms and stuff like that. And then in front of me is the old Martha White factory, flour factory. But now that's apartments. But I'm going to drive back across the train tracks and I'm going to end the video. And I'll leave with it. There's the melting pot right here on the right. But that's going to be the end of this video in the tour of South Knoxville and downtown and the old city. Thank everybody for watching. If you want to see more videos of East Tennessee, Middle Tennessee, just comment in the comments below and like and subscribe. And thank you for watching. Have a nice day.